Hi, how's it going? I have $9 cash money. I think I'm gonna get some reefer with it after this video. I forgot to turn on my light. Um, um, yeah, cause I'm like, yeah, not like I'm bitching or anything, but I'm out of money, so I can't buy any more weed. But I can't stay afloat with in terms of like the bills and stuff. So for this month, uh, this will be like my first sober month for a long time. I did smoke a little bit this morning because I ran out of reefer last night, I think. But I smoked some. I smoked some raz and I scraped my pipe and was smoking some of that like wet gooey resin that's at the bottom of the bong, like that's wet. And I got kind of high, but now I have like asthma. So yeah, I worked all night. I think I worked like all day yesterday. I can't remember what time I got up though. I was like napping during the day, but I worked all day yesterday and then all night last night, like without sleeping. And I still haven't slept. So this morning, a couple hours ago, my mom, or a little bit ago, first my mom came over to go swimming at my apartment, so I just went over to visit her. And the water, dude, at my pool is like a hot tub. It's literally a hot tub. Like I put my hand in it and it was hot. It's like 100 degrees. It's so hot that like I was looking around and there's like smoke coming off of it. Like as much smoke as like a thick smoke room, like sauna, steam room over this entire huge room with all these windows and skylights with all these plants. And we stole some, they had this fern. It was just dripping in water because it's so freaking moist in there because all the water was evaporating because it's like so hot. And so I pulled out some like ferns and I planted them here in my room. So if that takes and grows, I'm gonna be so jazzed. I want to have plants grow all throughout my house. But anyway, so then when she came here, she picked me up and she took me over to. I deposited my check for the month and went over to the store, Sprouts, to get some food. I got $20 worth of food. It was a lot of food. It was like good price for the size of the place. And I got orange juice, so I'm drinking my orange juice now, so that's cool. But so yeah, they should drop me off here. So the thing I'm doing on my site, oh god, I'm working on like a different thing a day every day. It's like I'm swimming around like yeah, so much work. Cause like the other day, I took like a couple days off to add paste on in the description area of my Flickr page a link to my website and then a description of what the album is all about and describe on the album. Because on May 5th, 2019, and I thought it was longer ago than that, I guess I finally uploaded all of my pictures of man, I thought I did that like 10 or 12 years ago. Anyway, of castles and cathedrals. So the whole world on the lists on Wikipedia, and you know it's like over 100 castles per country. You know, so it's a lot, and there's a lot of countries, and because I just busted through all the animals for my time, which is 1,000, and all of my other the newer ones I just put up, and so now I'm doing the castles, and because I got the images from Wikipedia, and so I'm pasting the information on, but then I'm also clicking them as public domain because they were all clicked by default as private domain, and I never got around to doing that because didn't have the time. I was like too lazy. I'm not good at finishing things because I do so much work that I get tired. So now I'm finally like, well, let's just get it over with. You know, I have 66,000 images on my computer on my Flickr, and I don't think any of them are set to public domain. I mean, I think most of the photos are like family photos. A lot of them are, but God, if I'm gonna continue and do all the images that I collected from Wikipedia for my timeline, dude, I could be stuck here for a long time. I'm working on the Diogenes book, which has more than 100 images. Or no, it has more than a fucking 100 images per chapter. And there's like 7 chapters. It's got like 700 images. Because I made little quotes of my favorite quotes from the Diogenes Lives of Greatest Philosophers book. It's on my website, and then I put the images on either side down columns. It was like the only book that I did that with. It took me forever, a couple years ago. But now that I add the information and the link to the images and click them, I click these to public domain. Yeah, it's taken forever, and then the other ones. So, and before that, today, like all of last night, all of yesterday, last night, and even into today, until maybe the last hour before my mom came. So I haven't really been doing this for that long. I was working on my timeline. Yesterday, put on the figured out the design of the horizontal timeline, and I have it the same as the decades, and so I have every single decade with a different color inside of the different centuries, so it all lines up, and so it's just enough room. And I forgot to check with my cell phone because I deliberately filled it up so there was an image across, 50 images across, 2% per column, and they're 20 pixels. And so if you put 50 20 pixel images across, and they each get their own table or whatever area, will they fit inside of the computer? And the answer was yes. But then I took away that thing before I could check on my computer, on my phone. I think I might want to build it again just to check on my phone. But maybe it will already. But anyway, I was happy to see. So anyway, I'm super jazzed about that because it has 3 different rows, each meaning a different thing, color coded, that I can also do, and then the background of the color signifying the decade, and then I can even put a border around it to signify the type of whatever it is. One row is structure, one is book, and one is war. So, and then for the countries that don't have that much, I would just have one across, and it'll designate which one it is, I guess, from the color. So, yeah, so I could see that when that's going to be done, it's going to be linked, so it can function as a like a fill in the blank test, and also like a test. You can actually film yourself, YouTube it, and grade yourself. I should set up a grade system for it now that I did this, but also as a it's just like a timeline, horizontal timeline, but it's like it has so much information in such a little amount of space that I'm just like, why didn't I think of this before? I must be smarter now than I was before. That's why it's a really good idea to work on a lot of pages at the same time, because before you get too far along on any of the pages, you will know exactly what you want to do. Like, you won't make any mistakes that'll make you have to redo anything, because you're doing it on the whole site, that you're actually making really slow progress per page. So you can't get ahead of yourself on any of the pages because it's just so slow, because you're working on so many, and you get good on other pages, and then you would use what you developed on this new page but on all of your other pages, and maybe you wouldn't have developed that on some of the other pages. So but in order for that to work, you have to it's sloppy for a long time, so you have to be self funded. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah. So they're 20 pixels, right? Images, and so they're stacked 3 halves, so say 60 pixels high. So on the computer screen, it's maybe probably like that, like an inch. It's like an inch, right? So it only takes an inch of your computer screen, but it's got images for 150 different events over 500 years. So yeah, I'm just super jazzed Oh, so this morning I was spinning, because I did it on, I finished um, South Europe 0 to 500, and I don't think it managed to upload. I think I have to like restart the computer for it to upload. My timeline was uploading fine. Oh, right. It was my education page that wasn't uploading because I was doing the fonts on that, but my timeline does upload. Yeah, I know it's weird that some pages do and others don't. My computer's been acting really weird, but what was I saying? Uh, anyway, it's it's I kind of don't feel like taking my test or listening to any more of those Wikipedia articles of different time periods until I get a little bit farther on this. Oh yes, that's what I was saying. I built it in South Europe from 0 to 500. Finished that, and then I moved over to North Europe. I think I did 500, 1,000, 1,000 to 1,500, but then 1,500, 2,000, which is the main page, the biggest page I have. It's actually not technically the largest. That's West Europe, but North Europe is like the most detailed. And yeah, so today, like most of this morning, I was adding icons to my North Europe 1,500, 2,000 page because it didn't have like any icons. And so, yeah, I was just running through because I can't put the icons on the horizontal part of the test until I have them all on the vertical, because I would paste them from the vertical onto the horizontal. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking to myself, holy shit. Oh, yeah, right, because I abandoned that today. I'm not even doing that anymore. I'm off on the next thing because I'm trying to, I'm like pasting the links on my Flickr and and like privating or whatever, public domaining the images and settings. So, and this is going to be for so many. So it's perfect to listen to stuff because it's so freaking brain candy and just hitting buttons like this over and over again. But it's just one of those like crazy time consuming things that was like, I'm just like spinning my head spinning. I'm like, because my head was already spinning, just coming to terms with the fact that I'm working on my timeline again, which is like the project on my website that's never ending. Like whenever I work on that, like I don't even think about having goals. I'm just like, just put time in it. Like my goal is how much time in it, but not how far I get. So I'm like freaking out over about that, and that, but only to abandon it and start on something else that's like never ending. So I'm glad that I'm working all the time because I'm getting, and that it's winter because I'm doing really well. But this is what happens if you're when you don't do everything in the beginning. You know, if I had have done all this Flickr stuff in the beginning when I uploaded it, I wouldn't have to be doing it now. But then again, if I had done it then, I'd be a lot farther behind on my website because I used that time to work on my website. So anyway, oh yeah, so I'm still listening to a Prince Harry book, but I'm also listening to all of the different spiral dynamics videos that I can watch just to wrap. I want to know where people's limitations are, because I'm solutions oriented. I'm pretty and like nobody else isn't. So just to be sure, I mean, I keep. It's like, does anybody have any ideas? It's interesting, but no. But I'm also super fired up about making that page, my generation spiral dynamics page, because I want to include a lot of stuff in the columns that I've been thinking in my head, you know, and I think I can next level it. So that's also really exciting. So too many goddamn things to do. I'm hoping that sobering up is gonna work, you know, because the reason I smoke so much weed is so I don't feel overwhelmed. And so now, I mean, if it's ever a time to feel overwhelmed, it's now. You know, because I've gotten in my head. I'm like, oh, want that, want that. I'm like a kid in a candy shop that wants all of the candies all at the same time, and it's just not possible. And it's like, anyway. So I don't know. I mean, maybe to remedy that, I could just do one thing a day. You know, on this thing, on this day I do this thing, and then I'll move over in that for a day, and then just do that forever. I might be pretty far enough along on my website for that. You know, before that didn't make sense because I would make too many mistakes, you know, because you have to get in the rhythm of things. But once the website is coming along, the chores you have for each page is a lot simpler, and you don't have to be on top of it as much. It's more developed, and so you could go into autopilot. And if when I the problem is also when you go into autopilot, you make mistakes. And I actually wasted a bunch of time today doing that. It was over 100 of them that I pasted the description for the thing from before. Because I was doing these ones that I got from this pet site, it has to do with Wikipedia, and I'm pasting that on my Diogenes book, and I was like, fuck. So I had to like redo it twice because I went into autopilot listening to the Prince Harry book. Anyway, that my mom got. I didn't buy it. My mom bought it, and then she loaned me her Kindle. But I want to hear it because it's, you know, it'll end up being a historical book. First book written by Royal, and yeah, I agree with him. They, yeah. Before I was like, I was kind of siding with the people who think that Meghan Markle is a narcissist. Maybe she is, but I definitely think that the royal family kind of threw Harry under the bus. Anyway, but I do think he's kind of a little bit of a whiny, because I would never bitch if I was a royal, because you can have all that money, do whatever the hell you want. I mean, fuck. If I was thinking to myself, like if I was a royal, like if I was the prince's little brother and never gonna be the king, like fourth in line, but I could do whatever the fuck I want whenever I wanted, I'd be an endurance athlete. I would hire my bodyguards to just have to be my endurance athlete buddies with me, and if they couldn't keep up, I would just have to do like have them like tag team or something, you know, or come along with me on their bikes or something. But that's what I would do. And enough talking. Almost 20 minutes. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do these images for the rest of the day. But maybe I'll buy some weed. I have $9. Maybe I'll just get a little bit of weed. Just spend the rest of my cash on weed. But I don't really want to get on my bike. But it's been warm today. We'll see. Okay, talk to you tomorrow.